Well, I'm Jane Curry, and I run my own publishing company called Ventura Press, which I started, it's now 14 years ago. And prior to that, I was a publisher with Macmillan. And prior to that, I was the managing director of Lansdowne Publishing. So I've seen both sides of the equation, large and small.
Yeah, wow. And what for you is the difference between working in a large publisher and then having your own smaller?
I get very envious of their marketing budgets.
Yes.
The books, I believe our books, we champion every book that we publish. So that is one of the better things of being with a small company. There's no mid-list or what's called B-list. So we champion every book, and we do 1 to 2 books a month, and we make sure that they don't clash, so they don't cannibalize. Whereas if you look at a big company, they're doing 500 titles a month, particularly if they've got an import list from America and England, and there has to be cannibalization. So you do get more curated in a small publishing company, but then you don't get all that point of sale, you don't get all the things that money can buy, and I get very envious of that. I take things ridiculously personally.
Yeah, and it is such a passionate business, isn't it?
If I pass a billboard, I come out in hives. It's like, they've got a billboard. All those things we could never afford.
Yeah. How did you get started in the industry, Jane?
Well, I went straight from university, which will appeal to your undergraduates. But I've always been a book person. So you find even now books from my childhood will have, ex libris cards in the front, and I organise my books like this. And then, so I always knew I wanted to be in the arts, and it was either going to be theatre or publishing, because I was involved in both of those at university, and publishing was where I got offered a job in London when I'd just left school. And because I came from the north of England, London was like the streets were paved with gold. I just literally caught a train down there and just thought, right, I'm working in publishing, I'm living in London, this is my dream. And that company sent me to Australia.
Yeah, wow.
And here I am in Armidale.
Wow. And so what's your day-to-day job like at the moment?
I've got far too much on my plate. So I tend to just... the 360, I think of my day as like a wheel, and I spin around it. So we'll do editorial. I've got a fantastic managing editor, so she might want me to have input on covers, on subtitles, on back cover blurb, and then marketing. So that spins around into marketing, the books that are actually about to come out. And then I'm the person that sells the book overseas. So I'm getting ready to go to the Beijing Book Fair in a couple of weeks, or I'll be getting an offer. Like I just got an offer from a German publisher for one of our books. So you have to sort of read the contract, make sure you're happy with it, do the deal. Lots of author care. Far too many authors have got my mobile number. But I love them all. So they ring me and they want to talk about the edit, because, you can play good cop, bad cop a bit. So our managing editor, Zoe, might say, this is what I want. I think this is structurally very important. She'll brief me that I'm going to be getting a phone call, and then I have to massage the author and say why we've done this, make them understand, ask, and finesse it. And sometimes the last author I spoke to, we sort of did a bit of a, well, you can win on that one, but I want to win on this one. So we decided to sort of come to a solution that way.
Yeah. And do you have advice for authors who are in that kind of editorial relationship?
Well, yes, publishing is one of those very strange industries. You go to a vet or you go to an accountant and you're absolutely in awe of every word they say. You come to a publisher and people think that they know our job. It's a really interesting industry, and we're all as trained as the architects and the lawyers. And yet everyone thinks they can do it. So people talk about self-publishing and I've been published and I'm self-publishing. So they're negating, in my case, 25 years worth of experience is negated. Oh, I can do a front cover, and my sister-in-law is an artist. So that, I think it would be to trust the publisher. if you've got the right publisher. I wouldn't ask people to trust blindly, but if you believe you've chosen the right publisher, you've chosen them for a reason. It's for their expertise, it's for their contacts. It's still a very much a people business, and you have, I go to lunch with most of the key booksellers a couple of times a year. It's soft diplomacy. It's a very old-fashioned industry. You've got to really know what you're talking about. You can't bluff. There's no way you can bluff. If you haven't read the book, you can't bluff your way out of it. So I read all the bestsellers that are in the market so that I know when I'm talking to our authors, I can say, well, this is really, we've got a touch of whatever is selling at the moment, Leanne Moriarty, or it's got a touch of, Hannah Kent, all those things that are out there.